Following her husband's passing, this woman bore the responsibility of upkeeping their mansion and its gardens. During one ordinary day, she noticed a pair of boys wandering in the orchard. Witnessing their activities, she was overcome with emotion, tears streaming down her cheeks. Little did she know their discovery would profoundly alter her life in unforeseen ways. Sandra found herself alone after her husband's passing. Their childless union meant they shared countless experiences, forging a bond strengthened over 50 years. John's devotion to their backyard orchard now fell upon Sandra's shoulders, a duty she embraced as his legacy. To her, the orchard symbolized their unfulfilled parenthood, a cherished reminder of their shared joys. Together, they strolled amidst its trees, basking in sunny picnics and winter sunsets, often interrupted by village children, whom they playfully chased away. Their rapport with the local children remained a testament to their enduring community spirit. The children found creative ways to get into the orchard and did their best to stay there as long as possible before being discovered by Sandra or John, who then became very angry and chased them around the orchard. That's why Sandra wasn't surprised to hear some noises while walking around her garden one day. There must be some kids, she thought as she prepared to surprise them and scare them away. Little did she know the surprising situation she would find herself in, resulting in a tearful meeting. The sound of the children grew louder and louder. Sandra looked through the trees and saw 4 boys running and playing with each other. She moved closer, ready to surprise them and chase them through the orchard, but then she noticed something that made her stop. Normally, she would immediately go after the children, but this time it was different. This time, the children were not only playing around the orchard, but these boys were playing around a fallen tree. Tears welled up as Sandra examined the fallen tree. It was her favorite, planted by John when they bought the house. She couldn't fathom why it had fallen, perfectly healthy, untouched. Then she noticed the earth pile and shovels betrayed. She confronted the children, who seemed unsure. They mentioned following Mr. Edwards' orders to dig for a treasure he claimed John had hidden. Curious, Sandra followed them to the root of the tree. There she found a dirty wooden box with a lock bearing John's initials. Despite skepticism, she realized it was indeed John's. She wiped away tears, pondering why he had buried it, and decided to sit on the fallen tree before opening it. The kids eagerly gathered around Sandra as she opened the box, revealing a rusty key at the top, a note addressed to Lizzie, and handmade with her initials. Despite the note being barely legible, Sandra sensed a deeper meaning, realizing the boys might have more information. She questioned them, but they knew nothing beyond finding the box and wishing her luck. Returning home, Sandra deciphered the note by heating it over a candle flame, revealing her husband's message about the key unlocking their hearts. Intrigued, she pondered the riddle and considered her safe space. She had never had a specific place, enjoying both the mansion and the farm. Determined to find her safe place, Sandra pondered where it might be. Despite searching each room for clues, she felt no different anywhere. Frustrated, she tried every keyhole in the house to no avail. Rereading the note, she wondered how a key could open something in a non-existent space. Then, a realization dawned. John had created a safe place for her. Thinking like John, she rushed to the orchard, recalling their fond memories there. Upon arrival, she noticed a heart carving with E+J and something shimmering inside. After retrieving a note from a glass casing within the carving, she learned of John's plan to build a treehouse, a special place just for her. However, due to his illness, he was unable to realize it. Although he could not build the treehouse, he had already collected all the things he wanted to place there. The key would lead her to the place that was inside his favorite place. Sandra's eyes filled with tears as she read the note. What a delightful man, she thought. She immediately realized where she needed to go. There was one place John always loved to be, the barn. The building stood at the edge of the orchard and was the place where her husband spent most of his time, anticipating the next step in her adventure. Sandra hurried to the barn. Little did she realize that the door would change everything. Sandra opened the large barn door, the wind blowing through the room, sending dust flying everywhere. She hadn't been in this room since her husband passed away. She remembered the sounds that filled the silent night, like John swearing when something didn't go his way. She stepped inside. When she turned on the light, she realized how much of a mess the place was. There were tools scattered everywhere, and every place she looked was either covered in dust or cobwebs. Sandra looked at the key she held in her hand. Where would it go? She thought as she looked around the room. Until down on the floor, covered in tools and materials, was a hatch with a keyhole. It has to be the one. Sandra moved the tools and materials so she could try to open it. She knelt down to get closer, her hand trembling as she brought the key to the keyhole. When the key was in the hole, Sandra tried to turn it, but nothing happened. Both the key and the keyhole were rusty and looked very old. So she tried again, but very slowly, by twisting and turning. She managed to get the key in further. As she tried to turn it, she heard a faint click. Did I make it? She thought. She got up as fast as she could and tried to open the hatch. At first, nothing seemed to happen. But when she let go, the room was filled with a loud bang. The hatch moved, but it was very heavy. She gathered all her strength to find out what was inside. This time, Sandra lifted the hatch more, and after the first few centimeters, it became much easier. The hatch was open, revealing a staircase leading into a dark room. From above, it appeared to be an empty room, so she decided to go downstairs. After lighting the candle, she was overcome with tears. It took Sandra a moment to recover, overwhelmed by the emotions that came rushing. Directly in front of her was a huge painting of her and John. It was a painting of her favorite picture of them together. What was this, and how did he do it? She thought, still oblivious to the other things in the room. After wiping away her tears, she looked away from the painting and was stunned. Not only was there the painting, but the whole room was filled with all kinds of paintings, pictures, and different kinds of memorabilia. What were you planning, John? She thought. Then she suddenly saw something. Sandra was impressed. How much time has he spent on this, she thought. She walked around the room and noticed something. A note was taped to the side of the stairs. Ready to find answers, she quickly removed it from the stairs and finally found his answers. The note expressed, "As you may recall, I've always believed cherished memories hold the key to one's heart." It continued, "That's why I endeavored to craft a sanctuary for us, where our fondest moments could be revisited." Sandra felt as though John's voice echoed through the notes and the poignant memories surrounding her. Despite it diverging from John's original intentions, Sandra deemed this place ideal. It was where she could honor her husband's memory, nestled in his beloved sanctuary rather than their shared spaces. She felt immense gratitude for the enduring love he bestowed upon her, even beyond his passing. Now in times of need, she could immerse herself in the warmth of their shared memories. What do you think of this story? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you.